Pecha Kucha 23, Old Man Logan, and Le Petit Néant. So if I've learned nothing else this week, I've learned how to put the accent on E's on my MacBook. Yay me. So there's a lot of stuff in here that is a kind of a run over from last week, and there's stuff that I thought I'd put in this week that I haven't, so it looks like I'm keeping a good pace. So graphic, I'm interning with them. Print exposed, that massive second article on the homepage I wrote. Well, I say that, I asked Henriette Cruz some questions and she answered them. Actually, she wrote this. Really, she should be credited. Too late now, it's live. I mean, it's not too late because it's the internet. You could just edit it. So here's a little bit of that article. It's kind of talking about her magazine, which is a combination of... It's a print magazine that you use an app with to unlock additional content when you hover over images. Ultimately, they've cut an image in half the same way bad game designers take DLC out and sell the same thing to you twice. So Le Petit Néant is the next article I'm working on. Again, I'm asking questions to the editor, but it's a very different kind of publication. It has no words in it. It's just an awful lot of illustration, mostly black and white. Here's, I've taken two random examples. Here's one. It invites the viewer to simply deal with it. You look at it and you take from it what you want. It's pages after pages of really nice, cool stuff. You can flick through it at your own pace. You can go backwards. You could read it upside down. This one was done by Stephanie von Reichwitz, who I met last year. We did a collaborative drawing workshop, which I thought was maybe life-changing. It's really fun when you can get other people to do what is usually considered a solitary experience. So, it's cool to see her in there. My world shrunk just a little bit. Superman Unchained, someone recommended to me I read this. 9 issue arc. Smart writing, great art. Scott Snyder, Jim Lee, what do you expect? Risky, I would say, starting the new 52 off this well. I mean, right at the start, the first, I think, double spread, first few pages shows what looks like Superman being dropped out of an aeroplane and effectively being one of the atomic bombs that blew up Japan to end World War II. Now, you've started with a massive mystery because this can't be Superman, but who is it? Because it clearly is. So, yeah, there's that. And then Superman, to tell a good story, he has to be playing for much higher stakes than your average hero. So he's trying to stop this skyscraper from collapsing without screwing it up, and it's I think like a 3 or 4 page thing with him trying to figure out how to not hurt anybody but stop the inevitable. Another thing that they do with this is they make Superman vulnerable. He gets hit with red sun missiles and sonic disruptors and all these things that effectively make him not as invincible as you expect him to be and as he expects him to be. So it adds a level of tension that you wouldn't expect. Another trope that needs to be on the level when it comes to Superman is Lex Luthor. I prefer him bald and incredibly intelligent, when he thinks he's the good guy, and sometimes even is. So again, Snyder's brought that to the table. And Luthor's never he's not the central villain, but he's always in the back doing what he does. Speaking of people in the back doing what they do, Batman is not just referenced, he kind of comes in and out of this. Superman saying it pays to have paranoid friends, and Batman's just like. So it's nice little cameos that help the whole thing as well. So I finally saw Kung Fury, and when someone said there's a character called Triceracop, that's when I realized that I needed to just stop everything and go watch Kung Fury. It's awesome, and really I don't have much more to say about it. I don't know that much about it. So. Another random thing I saw on YouTube, Scott Galloway, L2, he basically breaks down companies into winners and losers on a weekly basis. It seems like quite a dry breakdown of market conditions, but it's kind of laconic delivery. The fact he's in black and white, the infographics are interesting. It's kind of bite-sized, and he's pretty good at making the jokes. He's talking about drones in this one. He has a drone, he smacks it down, pauses for 5 seconds, and then goes, bitch. And that is why I've subscribed to Scott Galloway and L2 Incorporated. it's very interesting taking something that wouldn't seem so interesting and making it fun. Speaking of, well, no, this is the opposite. This is something that is super awesome. Miller McNiven, Wolverine. It doesn't get any better than this. Yeah, Old Man Logan, recommended to me a long time ago. It's the cat's ass. It's the best. It's so awesome. Dystopian future, 50 years after some mysterious event that made Wolverine put the claws away for good. By the end, it's all gone. Oh yeah, and America's been split up between the bad guys. Uh, yeah, Wolverine in the dust with the claws popped. You can tell it's all going down. The dystopian scenario is really the only one where comic book superheroes get to be there gets to be a finality to actions that happen when almost everybody's already dead, and there can be some character development and counter character development. So this shows Logan's journey from the west to the east. Doctor Doom on that map has a chunk of America. This is his entire involvement with the entire thing. He stands on a building silently overlooking, and it's so enigmatic and just well drawn. My only complaint about Old Man Logan is that I just want more. Right, so what do I need to do going forward? Dissertation hand in for the draft is Wednesday. I'm up to 4,000 words, but I'm not sure it really makes sense. So I've got to make it make sense and then sort out the bibliography and all that. Figure out if I want to use images. Onakage tennis. I've been doing it, but I really should have handed it over by now. While showing it to some friends, they kind of wanted to do this as well. So now I'm doing another one with another couple of people that I've just called Holy Crapola, after the catchphrase of the guy in the first page. So the first page has been done by my friend James. I've done the second. He's going to do the third. Then I'm going to do the fourth. And then someone else is coming in for the fifth. So that's coming up. Horizon Zero Dawn is a game I'm playing. Very strong on the narrative. I'm afraid it might be too strong. It might fizzle out halfway through like Deus Ex Mankind Divided did. But either way, I'll be talking about this because it's an excellent introduction to a world, to the characters, to kind of the mythos, and it starts with the obvious mystery of like, how did our world end for them to effectively be building from scratch in the future. So that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 23, and I'll see you next time.